for one of the most successful football clubs on the planet, their whole identity wasn't really forged in some great victory. It was all about the color of their shirts. Where today, we're going to unravel how a simple white kit became a symbol of absolute royalty for Real Madrid.
So, for Real Madrid, the answer is kind of weird, right? It doesn't even start in Spain. It starts in England. It's a story that kicks off with an ideal, this commitment to sportsmanship and pure elegance, way before the first trophy was even a thought.
All right, let's jump back in time. We're talking March 6th, 1902. On this day, the founders of what was then Madrid Football Club made a choice that would literally define a century of football. They decided they would play in all white.
And look, this wasn't just some random choice, you know? It wasn't about picking a color that wouldn't show the dirt too much. From the very beginning, that all-white uniform was a statement of philosophy, a promise to take a noble and pure approach to playing the game.
So where'd they get this big idea? Well, the inspiration came from this legendary English amateur team, a team that played just for the love of the game and for absolutely nothing else.
And this Corinthian spirit, it was no joke. These guys were serious. They famously refused to even compete for trophies and would literally miss penalty kicks on purpose if they thought a foul call was unfair. This was the ideal of pure sportsmanship that Madrid's founders were trying to capture.
And here it is. This is what it looked like. The original 1902 kit. That button shirt, the clean white shorts. It was a direct nod to that English elegance. Super simple, sophisticated, and a really clear statement about their ideals.
Okay, so what happens when you mess with that kind of deep-rooted tradition? Well, in 1925, the club decided to find out. And the results? Well, let's just say they were unforgettable, but for all the wrong reasons.
So a couple of players, Escobar and Quesada, they go on a trip to England and they come back with this brilliant idea to switch to the black shorts worn by the Corinthians. They thought it would look more modern, more slick. But, oh man, it turned out to be a total, complete disaster.
Yeah, the difference between what they wanted and what they got, it was just huge. They were aiming for elegance, for strength, but on the field, that new kit became a symbol for a team that had just completely lost its way.
Look at these results. It was a complete catastrophe. It all came to a head when they got brutally knocked out of the Copa del Rey by their rivals Barcelona, including a humiliating 5-1 thrashing at home. Yeah, the black shorts were officially a disaster.
So the club president, Merengues, he didn't even hesitate. He was basically like, nope, that's it, the kit's cursed, and he immediately ordered them back into the all-white uniform. And it's kind of funny, right? This one horrible season is what really sealed the deal, cementing the all-white kit as an untouchable part of the club's identity forever.
But going back to white wasn't just about superstition or getting their luck back. Nope. This was about forging an identity that was about to take over Europe. This was the birth of Los Blancos.
So the kit kept evolving, becoming more and more a symbol of power. In 1920, they get the royal title Real, so a crown goes on the crest. Then, in 47, they're the first Spanish team with numbers on their shirts, a huge step towards professionalism. But the final piece of the puzzle, the one that made it truly iconic, that came in 1955.
Yeah, 1955. This is the year they absolutely nailed it. They were playing in the European Cup under these brand new floodlights, and to make the players more visible, they swapped the dark socks for white ones. And just like that, the head-to-toe, all-white look was born. It created this almost ghostly, intimidating image that just terrified teams all across the continent. And it was that image, that pure white juggernaut conquering Europe, that earned them their enduring nickname, Los Blancos, the Whites. It wasn't just a name. It was something they earned on the pitch, and it became this shorthand for inevitable, unstoppable success. So think about it. It all starts with a superstition, born from a really embarrassing defeat, and it becomes this global symbol of victory, of tradition, and of pure excellence.
And the influence of that white kit just exploded. You had clubs like Leeds United in the 60s completely changing their colors just to be like Real Madrid. It survived massive political change. The fabric itself went from heavy old cotton to super high-tech stuff, but that pure white identity, untouchable. It never ever changed.
So what's next? The story's never really over, is it? That white shirt is like a blank canvas, and every single generation of players, from Di Stefano to Zidane, and now to guys like Bellingham, they all get to add their own mark, their own chapter to this incredible legend. And it just goes to show you, sometimes the simplest choice ends up being the most powerful statement in the world. The Real Madrid shirt is way more than just a kit.
It's an identity, an entire legacy, forged in white.